A new construction home is great until it's not. So today I want to talk to you about some of the top 12 new home defects that people find from somebody who deals a lot in new construction, how we find them, what happens, how we deal with them, and hopefully how we turn a bad situation into a good one. All right, let's hit it. Top one, improper grading and drainage after construction. So you have to think about when you buy in a development neighborhood, you have to think about that was not like, depending on at what phase you're buying in that neighborhood, at one point that was just a random dirt field, right? And then they came in and they did all this, infrastructure work. They laid in roads and street lights. They brought in water and power, and they regraded it, and then they subdivided it, replotted it, cut it into lots. It is a warrantyable thing. But that's just one of those things to be aware of, is improper grading and drainage. You come in and you say, hey, maybe we need to put in a French drain. Maybe we need to, redo the sod. So that's probably the number one, the top that we see in new construction. Number two, you're gonna see shrinkage cracks in your concrete, right? So when you talk to your builder, like they're gonna lay the concrete, they're gonna pour the post-tension slab foundation, and they're gonna talk to you. They're called, hairline cracks or shrinkage cracks because of our climate and our soil here in DFW. Those things happen. It's like, hey, when they're minor, it's cosmetic, right? When it's not minor and they start to separate, that's when it becomes a big deal, and we need to have things re-poured, re-looked at, re-engineered. Number three is we have wood flooring in our homes or LVP that ends up separating. Sometimes, this is caused by improper installation. They didn't fully smooth out the slab. Maybe it was humid. There's a number of different things. And sometimes, we'll just be honest, shortcuts get taken. And you may not see it till months and months after you move in. So you might see your floors separate or crack in a new construction. Number four, an incomplete construction. So this one's interesting to me because of the amount of times that it should be getting inspected by the city, and then it should be getting, it's gonna get hit by your inspector, but sometimes things just get missed on a plan, right? Like if you've got a whole neighborhood going and they've got 5 framing crews happening and they're just looking at the plans and they're just boom, 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 they're going. Sometimes, things get missed or incomplete, and, we catch them and we say something, we get them fixed. Number 5, overlooked painting. So if sometimes, let's say your cabinets got put in before the texture department got in there and the paint department, right? So things maybe didn't get painted. Big one that's missed, so I'll tell you to check this. Check the inside of your closets. Make sure closets have actually been painted. If it's a finish out on the garage, make sure the garage gets painted. Because sometimes we see things that are just tape and bed. There's no texture, no paint. Number 6, and I think this one is probably the most important one that I think happens more often than not that most people don't realize. And if you're not careful, you're going to be miserable that you missed this one. So number 6 is dirty HVAC systems, right? So the HVAC system is going to get installed in your home early on. It's usually right after framing stage, before drywall, because your attic is exposed and they can get up there and they can run all your ductwork and things like that. Well, so they install it, and then we wait on the electrician to come in. They get it hooked up, and then what happens, right? Like we get drywall, and then texture, and then paint and flooring and cabinets, and things, and dust just accumulates in your HVAC system. And if there's not a proper filter in there, if it's not running properly, they're just getting in that system. And so if you're not careful, that can lead to a system breakdown. So one of the things I recommend, and a lot of builders do this, is as soon as you move in, change out that air filter. Make sure you just have those ducts cleaned out, good to go, get all that mess out of there, so that you're not running sawdust and wood pieces through your HVAC system, especially in the summer, because you don't want to be without that. Number 7 is improper plumbing hookups. Right? So maybe this is just the plumber wasn't paying attention. They hooked the hot water up to the cold water. They forgot to run a hot water line to the laundry room. I mean, you name it. All of these kind of fall into this human error. It's just one of those things to be mindful of. Number 8 is going to be incorrect appliance installation. So if you upgraded the appliance package, right, and you didn't go with just the standard feature, they're ordering 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 appliances at a time, and sometimes they just put the wrong ones in. It's one of the last items that gets completed, so luckily it's relatively easy to fix. unless it was, a kitchen configuration that had to be changed. So, make sure those appliances are in and hooked up properly. Pro tip on a dishwasher, make sure your water lines, and again, this is why we hire inspectors, make sure your water lines are actually hooked up so that there's water running into your dishwasher. Number 9, doors that do not close properly. This can be interior doors, this can be exterior doors, this can be doors that, the hinges, maybe they're off just a little bit and it doesn't shut the right way. Maybe the lock doesn't engage. We want to check all those things. Super important. Make sure the doors are painted. Sometimes the doors get put in and they're if you touch them, they've got a weird texture to them. They haven't been painted. So we just want to check all our doors, make sure they're closed properly. Number 10, floor damage and wall scratches, right? Because at a certain point, they're going to install your floors. Most builders right now are going to a LVP or luxury vinyl plank, tile, carpet, or some combination of the three. Occasionally in a high-end build, you're getting full custom, actual hardwoods. When those get laid down in a perfect world, sometimes that doesn't happen. So there's still going to be heavy equipment that gets moved in and out of your home, ladders, things like that as they continue to work. There's a chance your walls get scratched as things, not to say that people are careless, it's just sometimes it happens. Number 11, I'll tell you this one because we had an issue with this too in our home. Window issues. So a couple things when it comes to windows. First and foremost, if your builder offers you blinds and they're like, hey, it's $1,000, take the blinds. It's a whole lot easier. It's way less than a headache trying to install them later. Learn that one the hard way. We tried to install our blinds. So if you're going to install your own window blinds, here's what you need to know. When you take a measurement, you can't just do the top. You have to do top, you have to do middle, and you have to do bottom. Because sometimes what you'll find is your windows are not plumb, which means if it's 36 1/4 at the top, it might be 36 7/8 at the bottom, and it might be something else in the middle. So you got to take those measurements. I learned that the hard way, had blinds cut, and then had to double pay for blinds because I didn't measure right. It was on me. So just know that. Check all of your thermal seals on your windows. You want to make sure your cold air is staying in, the hot air is staying out, especially when it comes to Texas summer. So you want to check those seals, check the latches, make sure all your windows latch properly. Things happen. So check all those, check your seals, make sure they open and shut properly. Number 12, lastly on our list, is heating and cooling system. So what you have to know is your AC is going to get installed way early on in the process, usually right after framing goes in because it goes all up in your attic. They run the ductwork and things like that. Well, there's still work that has to be done in the home. And so in theory, perfect world, those vents should be sealed. They're not always sealed. So then what happens is you get, sawdust and you get sheetrock and you get all these people in and out of your home and dirt and dust, and it gets up in these vents and they get clogged. And so what we see is people get ready to run their AC units and it's clogged and there's all this stuff in there. So make sure your ducts are cleaned out, make sure they're good to go. That hits all 12 of our major defects that we normally see when it comes to building new construction. Like I said, huge advocate of new construction. I still think it's a great deal. I would love to help you any way I can. I help families all over DFW buy, sell, build new construction. It's one of my favorite things to do is help build new construction. So if I can help you in any way, contact information as always right down here. You can reach out down below in the description. Call me, text me, send me an email. Whatever I can do to be of assistance to you and your family building here in DFW. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video, hanging out. I appreciate your time. One of these days, my voice will be back to normal. My allergies will be gone and because the weather will have gotten normal. And I look forward to that day. So thank you again. Guys, we'll see you in our next video.